Hello. This week, we will look at one of the ways that Jesus showed himself to his disciples after he was resurrected from being dead. Soon after Jesus died, two of Jesus' friends were walking away from Jerusalem towards a town called Emmaus. While they were walking and talking about everything that had happened, a stranger came and started walking with them. He asked them, "What are you talking about?" They stopped in their tracks because they felt so sad. One of them, a man named Cleopas, said, "Are you the only person around who hasn't heard about what's happened?" The stranger replied, "What do you mean? About what?" They explained, "About Jesus of Nazareth, a person who taught us the truth about God and God's people, but who our priests and leaders killed 3 days ago. And now some of our friends have told us that his tomb is empty, and others are even saying that he lives." Now the road to Emmaus was a dangerous road, and these disciples were in danger. Jesus had just been executed. They don't believe the tomb is empty because he's been raised, even though the women have told them so. It's just as likely to them that the body was stolen. And they are fleeing Jerusalem because they're scared and sad and confused. The stranger then talked to the two men about everything that they said had happened, and he explained how it fit with the holy writings that their people shared and studied. As they approached the village of Emmaus, the stranger went as if to walk on alone, but the two disciples said, "Wait a minute, it's getting dark, and you don't want to be on the road all alone. Why don't you come and share supper and a room with us, and get some refreshment and rest?" So the stranger came inside. Again, remember, this road is very dangerous, but they invite a stranger to join them and share their food and their room. This is an act of quite radical hospitality. They were on the run. They don't know who this person is, but they show him kindness even though they're scared and sad and confused, and even though they don't know who he is or even how much they can trust him. So there was quite a bit of risk in making this invitation, but these disciples showed courage, kindness, and welcome in overcoming their very justified fear. And remember, their friend Jesus was just executed. There was no telling what might be next. When they were eating, the stranger took the bread, blessed it, and broke it, just like Jesus did on the night before he died. And as he did, all of a sudden the two men recognized the stranger as Jesus. And once he did, the man vanished from their sight. And they said to each other, "Didn't we feel Jesus close to us when we were talking to him on the road?" And they ran back to Jerusalem and told their friends that Jesus really was still alive. This act of kindness, welcome, and hospitality toward a stranger is what brought on the vision of Jesus. We can know that wherever love is, God is there too. So Jesus lives when and where we share the love that Jesus taught us. Even if the people we are loving don't look like Jesus, we say Jesus is there. Even if we can't see Jesus or can't feel God's presence at all, if we love, God is there, and Jesus lives in and with and through that love. Also, notice that this is like communion in church. Jesus blessed and broke and shared the bread. One of the reasons we do communion at church is because we're trying to do what these disciples did. Any stranger can come in off the street and share our meal, and we believe that if and when they do, Jesus will be with us in our act of welcome and love. So where do we see love in this story? Well, for one, Jesus comes to be with his friends who are feeling sad and scared, and he helps them to see that what happened when Jesus was killed was part of God's plan, and that Jesus is still with them. We also see love from the disciples, who invite someone they thought was a stranger to have dinner with them. They didn't want to leave that stranger alone in the dark on the road. This meal, where Jesus became known in the breaking of the bread, reminds us of the communion sacrament we celebrate at church, a reminder of how Jesus gives us his Spirit and how we share that with each other. So those are all ways that we see love in this lesson. That's all for now. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.